Hey folks, Kaya here. I Should Roll will always be free to listen to, but it's not free to make. So please consider supporting us by subscribing to our Ko-fi at ko-fi.com/Intergalactic Improv Initiative. You'll find the link in the show notes. As a stellar streamer, you'll receive exclusive bonus content and our enduring gratitude. Tiers start at $2 per month. See you on Calliope Station.
Correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.
A podcast by the Intergalactic Improv Initiative.
Ride of the Valkyrie, Episode 22. All according to Keikaku. Featuring the voices of Hans Cummings, Shay Grové, Chase Hutchison, J.D. Kelly, Hunter LaPaglia, Leah Ryan, and creator Kaya Renwick. Keikaku means plan. I Should Roll. Last time on Ride of the Valkyrie, Bean successfully flipped Kache back into the Valkyrie's hatch, Carver successfully bluffed his way into the Cerberus cruiser, Zyn and Gratch did not commit mass murder, and successfully found their way back to the cargo bay, coincidentally falling into Titoh and Carver. Now they just have to escape.
March 16th, 2184. Terran Universal Coordinated Calendar. Omega Nebula. Sarbaric System. Omega.
We're going to slip over to the Valkyrie. How's stuff going over there?
I like to think really great. You know, maybe we're just, you know, there's some nice music playing, and we've got our species version of coffees going, and we're just chatting and, you know, having a grand old time. There's some urgency, I'm sure, but I am manifesting greatness for them.
Would you guys have, like, prearranged to keep an open comm channel so you guys could hear what Carver and Titoh were up to? Or are you literally just doing we're gonna play cards over a crate until we get the ping?
Would inter-hardsuit comms travel into space? Because we can't get close enough to the ship without them going, who the hell are you? Send us your IFF thing. So would we be able to stay in contact with them?
You would probably be able to bounce a signal off a comm buoy to Rose's ship if you took the time to, like, figure that out ahead of time. So it would probably, it might not be the best quality signal, but you might be able to get something through if you had decided that you wanted to do that. If you guys want to just be there sipping Rilke and nibbling on tack and playing cribbage, that's fine.
No, I definitely think we should be making, you know, steps towards it. I more meant nothing's on fire. You know?
Good.
Yeah.
Good. We haven't blown any other airlocks.
Yeah, hopefully.
So that is one thing. Can we, obviously, is the airlock just permanently open now? Can we close it? Can I seal it?
I think you guys can close it, yes. I think
Okay.
maybe like a repair check to see like how well repaired it is might be in order.
Okay, yeah.
Ooh,
So whoever wants to do that.
I'm famously good at repair. So, yeah. I got a +9, baby. Step aside
Damn.
and watch Daddy work today. Okay, we rolled a 6 with that, so it's a 15. A 15 is like pretty. Some might say that's
fine.
pretty
15's
great.
not bad. 15's
Yeah.
not bad. 15's pretty good. It's a 75%. So I think you guys probably are, Omega's a debris field, right? So you guys are probably like lurking just outside of sensor range, ready to swoop in if needed, right? Close enough, but not too close. I feel like you and Kache maybe kind of like do the contractor thing, looking at this airlock. Can we put it back together? And you're like, yeah, I got this. And it's a good old trusty duct tape and a welding gun. Yeah, it's fixed. It's definitely more dented than it was before. It kind of screeches a little bit concerningly when you open it, but it works. And it seals, which is good. So you don't have to have your helmets on. You still have atmosphere. It's still pressurized. But you might want to replace it next time.
Yeah, it means like Yeah, in order to really fix this properly, I'm gonna need my boys for this, you know. Gotta get my guys in here and get it done. But it'll do.
I see what you're saying. It makes sense. I'm gonna set up this gun emplacement in case we need to do any scooting and shooting. Do you want to see if you can set up a buoy, buoy, whatever it's called.
Yeah, that sounds smart.
Okay. Give me... This is not what this skill was originally used for, but we're gonna Shanghai it. I would like you to give me a networking roll.
Ooh.
It's not quite hacking, but give me a networking roll. See if you can piggyback onto a comm buoy out in the asteroids.
So that's gonna be a 5. So sorry to the comm buoy.
I think you start working on this and you go, this doesn't make any sense. It's like Omega is surrounded by space junk. You are trying to hook up to a router that its firmware is ridiculously out of date, and you're basically trying to like hack into a Wi-Fi signal that it's a disaster. So I will let you try again later if you so desire, but for the moment I'm gonna leave you fussing with that, Cash working on the gun, and we're gonna pop back over to the cruiser.
Sounds good.
You guys are in this little office. What do you do?
Look, this one has found the artifact for which these ones were searching.
Is Gratch omnicuffed?
I think so, unless Titoh undoes them.
So this is Gratch's second pair of omnicuffs. Gratch is going to do the same thing he did the first pair of omnicuffs. And smash.
Well, unfortunately, that's not going to work this time for reasons that I can get into, but if you want to try it, you certainly can.
Gratch is appalled.
I mean, go ahead and roll me the athletics check.
Natural 100.
Oh my god.
Hang on a moment.
Gratch breaks reality.
It is an 18, though, with a plus 6, like a 24. Pretty good.
Well, you would need to break Titoh's Omni tool for this to work.
Oh.
Gratch is willing to do that right now because Titoh betrayed Gratch.
Well, would Gratch know this? Is the next question.
Is Gratch's hands behind his back or in front of his back?
Behind. I ain't no fool. Dealt with you before.
All right. Gratch is flailing, and Gratch is smashing, and Gratch is trying to get them to break, and they won't break, and Gratch is just going, Titoh, Carver, you service the whole time? You betrayed Gratch. You betrayed Gratch. And he's just going to sit there and shake.
Gratch, this is the voice of God. Please, calm down.
Yeah.
This is all but a ruse to fool Cerberus.
No, Gratch thought you were God when you were in the ceiling. Gratch knows you're Zyn now. And Zyn, you're upset. You don't know what you're talking about. This is Titoh and Carver betraying Gratch and Zyn.
I'm going to grab Gratch by the forearms and headbutt him as hard as I possibly can.
Oh! Athletics check.
What are you, Part Krogan now?
I'll be what I've gotta be. Oh, no.
If Cache was there, he'd be so impressed.
Yes.
Would he? Based on look on Shay's face, I'm not so sure.
Oh, headbutting.
Oh, it says I've got a penalty to that. Oh, don't know what that means.
That means you remove your proficiency bonus from the roll.
Brilliant. I rolled a 4. So that's minus the proficiency bonus. That's a 1.
Oh.
I think you go to do this and you realize that Gratch's forearms are behind his back, and so like the angle is super.
Oh, I meant his upper arms. I'm an idiot.
Okay, never mind. You grab his upper arms, and Gratch, I think you see it coming. So I would like you to roll me an opposing athletics check, please.
That's me an 18.
Okay, Titoh, you see stars.
Great.
As Gratch proceeds to headbutt you, and I think you stumble back across the room. And honestly, I think you probably take a couple of points of damage.
We're gonna need some serious therapy after this. Just saying.
Gratch is therapist.
Therapist. How many points of damage are we talking?
It's like 2.
Why did Titoh headbutt Gratch? Like, is Cache Cerberus too? Gratch is jumping around trying to get the cuffs off.
I need an episode with Gratch as a therapist now.
Should cut the last one with Zyn and Gratch.
Yep.
That's true.
Gratch did a pretty darn good job. Yes, Hunter.
So the room we're in, is it like, are we talking like Star Wars where it's like a force field and they can see through, or is it like a closed
No,
door?
it's a door. It's a door.
Okay, cool. So Carver's gonna...
That would be the funniest fucking thing.
Just like, damn, they're getting their ass kicked in there, man. Just the guards out there.
Right? Like, what is going on?
Okay, Carver's gonna lock the door panel, if that's a thing.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you can do that.
Cool. Okay, Carver, he's gonna take his helmet off and like throw it as hard as he can at the ground to like make noise, so they think like, damn, they're getting at it in there. And I'm gonna go over and take off the cuffs from Gratch and just shake him and say, Gratch, you are strongest. No one here is Cerberus. You would know. No one could trick you. You would know if we were Cerberus. We're not. It's all a ruse. Just like Zyn said, it's all a ruse.
Okay, so A, this is going to need a charm roll, and B, you are doing this while frantically trying to take the cuffs off, but you cannot because it needs to be done by Tito's Omni tool. So you are just sort of holding on to them. And it's like...
I think that persuasion needs to be a disadvantage because Gratch is not getting uncuffed and Gratch does not believe you at all.
Okay, that's fair. You know, that's fair. I do have a +5 to charm though, so we rocking in this bitch.
Damn.
Okay, so the first one's a 17. So
okay. So we're starting with a 22, but it's a disadvantage.
Also a 17.
Nice.
Good lord, I like your dice. Okay, so that's
I told you, the dice tray, baby.
All right, then Gratch, that's a 22. Does a 22 do it?
Let's see what Gratch's insight says.
-4.
Gratch rolled a 19.
Yep, so that's a 15.
Gratch is he's calm and he's very confused. Then why did Titoh handcuff Gratch? And who's a ruse?
Carver's just gonna, right. And then turn over to Zyn and say, you found what?
This glowing orb is the artifact that was purloined from the museum in which this one works. This is our objective.
Carver's just blank faced, like, how in the fuck did y'all manage to find it when y'all got captured? But just, okay. Just pure, like...
These ones were lured onto this ship under false pretenses. This one was performing a favor for a friend, delivering stacks and stacks of fine literature to this ship. And they abducted these ones like villains. Stupid space racists.
just to himself, realizing, because we saw the Blasto comics, right? When we were coming through the cargo. Okay, yeah. Carver just to himself is, Christ, he needs the comics. And just say, fantastic. Can we go now?
This one would very much appreciate that.
Is Titoh still on the ground, or...
Is Gratch still wigging out? I mean, I don't think we can go anywhere until he's...
Sounds like Gratch is somewhat calmed down and is no longer literally bouncing off the walls. But I don't think he's particularly happy.
Gratch is still handcuffed and he doesn't like it.
Yes. He's still cuffed.
Okay, I gonna get up from wherever I was flung to. Sort of like hold the head, just let the stars disappear. Then walk up to him now that he's, not like going rage-filled. Put a hand on his shoulder. Gretch, I have to keep the handcuffs on you because we're playing pretend with the Cerberus guys. Okay?
We're gonna play pretend like Bean and Arya played pretend? With the handcuffs?
No. Yes. No. Just...
This one advises that one to be extremely cautious in how that one answers.
Trying.
I tried to cheer Zyn up and asked him if he wanted to fuck Gratch, and he said no.
What I can promise you, Gratch, is once we're done with this pretend, things are gonna be great.
Okay. Yeah. Gratch is conflicted.
Just trust me.
So
Trust me.
Tito's not Cerberus?
No, but I'm pretending, and it's very important that everybody outside of that door believes that I am.
Okay. Gratch can pretend.
Okay,
Gratch thinks.
wonderful.
If you pretend and wear the handcuffs, you may get an ending, which is happy.
Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
gosh.
Gratch wants to be happy for an hour.
Okay.
I'm glad I didn't hear that in character.
What's next?
What an amazing question.
I'm going to leave it up to Carver, our spokesperson. I'm going to have Gratch. We have not handcuffed Zyn, have we?
How would you?
Yeah, I know. So how do we get a leash or something around the? I mean, I can make anything with my army tools. So, what would be best for a jellyfish?
I can honestly tell you, I've never thought about this. I feel like you have to hog tie the tentacles in some sort of shibari situation. Because otherwise they would just come out.
Oh my gosh! I'm just imagining holding him like a big balloon,
Just hold Blasto Comics in front of him and say, "Come on, follow the comic, follow the comic."
Okay, can I do two things with my Omni tool at once?
So literally what happens here is it's a manufacturing suite. It's like hard light. You create it, and then it exists until you turn it off.
Okay.
So yes, it's not the equivalent of like a D&D concentration spell. Although that said, that would be a really neat mechanic, and maybe we need to think about that.
I always want to check because I've been burned by those bad boys.
But yes, you could do more than one manufactured thing at once.
Okay. Zyn, I apologize in advance for this. But again, you're going to have to work with me here. So I create a little loop with a clamp, and I collect their bits and clamp them, attach with a little string. It's going to drag them behind me.
This is so unhinged.
This one protests. This one thinks the hospitality this one has experienced on this ship has been the worst this one has ever experienced in the entire galaxy. This one is giving this ship a very poor rating.
Good, keep that up. We need that energy as we leave.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
And I'll turn to Carver and be like, all right, sell it. We gotta get these guys out of here.
So, quick question. Are you taking the artifact?
Oh, absolutely. Can we? Well,
Okay.
well. Here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
In this is so unhinged. In the way that Zyn's tentacles have been kind of like wrapped up together, is there a way to hide the artifact within?
I know what you're thinking.
I'm thinking like Nemo hiding in the anemone. That's what I'm thinking.
Don't hurt yourself, kid.
Yeah, I get it.
How big is this bowl?
I thought it was like human head sized, yeah?
It's a little bigger than a human. Yes, go ahead, JD.
Just putting it out there to remind you of what you just threw across the room that is human head size.
Oh, I thought it was bigger. Would it fit the helmet? Because that was going to be my second thing. But
It would probably not. It might fit in a Krogan helmet.
Damn it.
Now that you're seeing it in person, it's a little bigger than an actual, than a head.
Boo.
You could probably hide it in Zyn's tentacles.
But would it glow?
You could carry it.
This one will glow brighter.
That's right.
Not attaboy.
I'm afraid to ask what that means.
That's right. Zyn can create a light display of anger. Huh?
It will be a kaleidoscopic display of wonder that will fool the Cerberus fools into thinking that those ones are torturing this one with some sort of diabolical contraption.
Perfect.
Can.
Although this one is very reluctant to actually touch the artifact with its spare protoplasm.
It's for the enkindlers, Zyn.
The ones that do not exist?
Mm-hmm. Those ones.
Can Titoh pretend to get Gratch's claymore back?
Ooh. Sure. I got your claymore back. Pretend over.
Gratch just sits there, just looks sad and defeated and sad.
So Clarification. The first plan, hiding in the tentacles, is that what we're going for?
I have no idea.
Yes, I like it.
All right.
I think it's foolproof.
Zen, we good with that?
No, but this one sees no other alternative.
Attaboy. Okay. So I guess, would this have to be done before the tentacles get all tied up, or... So many logistical questions this episode.
I don't think it really matters.
Okay.
So I think we can just say that this is happening. Zyn, I would like a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh boy.
You're so smart.
That has nothing to do with wisdom.
Why is this what we're looking for?
I rolled a 6.
Checks out.
Okay, as they nestle this glowing orb among your tentacles, Zyn, you are overcome with a dark fog that very quickly turns into the deepest water you've ever been in, and then go down another few kilometers. You believe you are at the bottom of an extremely deep ocean. You hear nothing, you see nothing. You have absolutely no consciousness of anything that is occurring right now. You have an awareness of a great presence sort of in the back of your mind, and that is it. On the outside of this, the other three of you witness absolutely nothing strange at all. Zyn is completely normal.
Is he like Zyn still? Like
nothing's changed. Above the table, you guys know that Zyn is experiencing something, but on the table, Carver, Titoh, and Gratch, nothing. You put the orb in between Zyn's tentacles.
Fuck.
Enkindlers, what pain it is to drown.
The three of you do not hear Zyn speak.
Dreadful noise of waters in this one's sensory organs.
As far as the three of you are aware, Zyn is floating silently holding the orb.
Even though Gratch is attuned to Zyn's feelings?
Correct.
Fuck.
The three of you have no idea this is happening.
Is he glowing?
He is absolutely the exact same as he was 2 seconds before you put the orb in.
Dang it.
Yeah, okay.
Dang.
Well, I guess in that case, Carver's gonna go grab his helmet, slap it back on.
It's possible we could just say that the glowing of said orb is Zyn's feelings, which are depressed because they're captured now.
If it comes to it.
Yeah.
Okay. You opening the door?
Yeah.
Okay.
Confidence, Carver.
I mean, look, the average person in this universe knows so little about Hanar. You could say that I'm actually, like, dropping a deuce right there while you're dragging me, and that's what it looks like, and they would believe you.
That's so true. And they're space racists. Hold on.
They're so afraid.
Yeah. They don't know.
So you guys open the door, and the trooper who is on guard outside... Oh, well, that was quick. I assume you got everything you needed and are moving on?
Yes, but we'll be taking them with us.
Oh, of course. I mean, naturally. We don't really want them here. They killed several of our guys and trashed half our ship. So, yeah, go nuts. Great. Have fun.
Perfect.
Watch out for that one. He bites.
Right.
Gratch has, give Gratch's claymore back.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, you guys are gonna want everything we took off them. I'll get the. He pulls up his rating. The stuff from the prisoners. Bring it to the cargo bay. Oh, it's already in the cargo bay. Sweet, great. Yeah, it's all there for you.
Perfect. This way, and just gesture towards where we came from.
Yep.
He's just gonna nod, like no pleasantries. Just go on forward.
Okay. You guys are ushered back to the Corvette. Zyn floats along behind, dragged by Tito's leash. And sure enough, there's a crate with the confiscated guns of and grenades of Gratch's, and you are all quickly aboard the ship.
Titoh, are you done playing pretend?
I suppose.
Don't sound so enthusiastic about it.
Just nice to have him under control for once, you know. I'll doot, release the cuffs.
Omnicuffs are free.
Gratch runs off and goes, "Where's Gratch's Varen meat?"
Wrong ship. Very quickly realize this is not the Valkyrie.
He's looking anyway.
You never know.
I'll also, wait, first get the orb from within Zyn's tentacles, and then release the leash so it doesn't just fall.
Okay. As you take the orb, Zyn, the vision of the ocean clears, and suddenly you're in a ship that you've never seen before, and Titoh's in front of you, and she's got the orb, and you hear Gratch rummaging around for God knows what over on the side. And Titoh, as you take the orb, I would like you to make me a wisdom save, please.
This should be fun.
Ooh, being redecorated.
Carver's just gonna kind of pat Zyn on their back as well as you can with the Hanar. Be like, wrong ship.
Splort. Okay. It sort of buzzes through your hard suit gloves. Feels kind of funny, like it's sort of like, but you don't really. It's just kind of a weird orb.
I want to find a place to put it that feels safe.
Okay, you quickly realize that wherever you put it, it just floats. So,
oh,
it's not really going to go anywhere.
Nice.
Kind of floats.
I'll just let it. Ooh.
Okay. Who's flying the ship out of the ship?
I guess I'll head back up to the cockpit.
Okay. Then give me a flight check.
Zyn sploots down on the deck.
+3, so 17.
Okay. Yeah, you watched Titoh fly once Titoh was flying and not careening everywhere. And between that and your ICT training, you pilot the ship out of there without any issues. And you loop on back. I think you probably find the Valkyrie's IFF on your transponder ping, and you kind of swoop around and, I don't know, maybe waggle the wings to say hello. Bean, you see Rose's Corvette approach on your long-range scanners.
Just reminder for me. Am I aware they took Rose's Corvette? I can't remember if I knew that.
Yes, because you ran into them.
Then I'm just gonna be like, "Oh, hey guys, we're on our way to rescue you."
Carver will answer the ping and say, "Well, I love the thought, but we're on our way out."
Oh.
Yeah.
Are they okay?
We're all good here. Everything's fine.
Did you find them? Were they there?
I don't think this is the time to be having the conversation, but yes, we found them. They're okay. Their stuff is on the ship.
That's not really a descriptive answer as the questions.
We found the artifact. We need to leave before they are none the wiser that we've stolen.
Oh. Well, that was super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
I love you so much.
Thank you for setting up that for me so I could knock it down. That was perfect. Thank you.
Okay, where are you guys going?
I guess that's the question. Do we need to go back to Omega, or should we get back to the Encrundled... fuck, I was trying to remember what JD's...
The Encrundled blob of Sacramento?
Yeah, that.
Oh my god, we could finish the job. We could finish the job.
It could happen.
Oh my gosh, it could happen.
How far from where we are is it to the Mass Effect relay?
I mean, probably like an hour max. You're probably going to end up spending most of that time waiting in line for the relay.
Queuing. Can't get away from it.
So if we pull alongside each other into a little convoy, and just head that way, we can kind of just book it to the Citadel.
Sure.
One question though, and I don't know if this is this would be like above table and meta. Should we ditch Rose's ship? Like, or should
that
we just...
is the question. I'm like, are you literally just taking Rose's ship with you? What's the plan here?
I don't know. It's a nice ship.
It's a really nice ship, but I feel like we don't need to make too many more enemies. If we return it the way we found it, you know, with a
she'll never know.
Slightly rummaged for Varen meat or whatever Gratch was looking for.
The dent in the side where the
getting hit by the
Valkyrie
Valkyrie
smashed into it.
I will leave some credits on the counter. It's fine.
You know, I love that idea.
Zyn is oozing protoplasm and slime all over the deck plates right now.
Would it be super out of our way to stop at Omega to drop the ship, everybody get on the Valkyrie, and then go?
No, I wouldn't be super out of the way.
Do we want to do that, or do we want to steal and keep the ship?
Well, ask us in character. Like, yeah, just...
Yeah, that is a thing we could do. My fault. With the comms still open. So do you all want to get back on the Valkyrie? Do you want us to take the ship and just go? Do we want to return it? What do we want to do?
Well, how soon do you think they'll notice that everything's missing?
I don't think you would have any idea.
That's a good question. Would we know?
I mean, I would notice if I would notice if my ship was gone pretty quick. I mean, they tend to be large, and it's not like a button that you lose and you're like, oh man, where'd I set down that button? Like, you remember where you parked your ship generally. I mean, you know what? Come to think of it, I've parked places and then.
Well, I think maybe if we ditch the conspicuous ship and get on this ship, it'll take them longer to find us if we're, several ships down the line.
That's right. They'll be looking for a Corvette.
Yeah, and if the Valkyrie's in line for the Mass Effect relay, then we're less likely to have a rude interruption as we queue. I hate queuing.
I would agree.
It's kind of nice. I've never heard the Valkyrie described as inconspicuous before, but this is cool.
Okay. Are you going to try to bring the Corvette back to the same berth that it was originally docked in?
Absolutely not.
Okay, good.
Wait, I got an idea. Why don't you just pull the Corvette into this debris field and then put on your hard suits and come over via spacewalk?
We started the episode by twerking Kache into the ship.
Fuck it, baby, we ball. I love it.
Who are you, Carver?
I am a man who likes to live dangerously today, evidently.
This entire operation has been seat of the pants. What are you talking about? This is our modus operandi.
Okay, so...
Exactly.
There has been no thinking in advance before we acted at any point in this entire escapade. We have literally just gone, sure, let's do this.
And it's worked.
True.
I would like flight checks from both pilots to see how close you can, and how close and how aligned you guys can get to make the spacewalk easy.
All right, big money, no whammies.
14 for me.
Okay.
13. This is respectable.
That's not terrible.
So what I was actually going for here was I was hoping that you guys would get checks that were quite close together. The closer together you get, the more aligned you're going to be.
Oh, hell yeah.
Ooh.
However, that said, you're both sort of in like the high average, right? So what's happening here is that you've lined the Valkyrie and the Corvette up quite nicely, but you are still moving. So this has raised the DC slightly from where it would have been had you gotten higher checks, but it's not like a ridiculously high DC. So we're gonna aim for a DC 10. We'll do it. Yes, JD.
Hey, Bean, you got any spare cabling or rope or something I could chuck out the airlock for them to grab a hold of and pull themselves aboard?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I kind of look around and like find a spare panel that's still hanging open out of the wall, and I just like yank a couple wires out of it and just tear them out and throw them to you. These aren't really important.
How brittle are the wires?
See, I was thinking a spare spool or something, but no, just the ones that are in the wall. Fine.
Right, nah, just gonna yank it out of the wall, that's fine. Okay, so I was going to say that DC 10 was you grab on by your fingernails, and then like a DC 15 is like real nice, but now DC 12 is you have no problems to get from one place to the other. I will let you guys, the four of you, choose your skill check. Yes, JD, and yes, Hans.
Well, I was gonna say the long wire cable, whatever that I've got, because it'll be 0G. I'm gonna open the airlock. I'm gonna tie a piece of Varan meat to the end and essentially throw the Varan meat out to act as a little bit of weight, and so it'll be like a bit of Varan meat.
I thought you were gonna say a lure for Gratch.
We're fishing for Gratches.
Yeah, on the end of the cabling. To like mean that they've got something to aim
and
for
Hans,
that's
what were you gonna say?
a little bit easier than just the cable.
I would like to point out that Zyn is not wearing a hard suit.
No, Zyn is not. However, we did discuss earlier that you do have your own personal Mass Effect field generator, and presumably you would be able to exist in hard vacuum for at least some time. Probably not ridiculously long because it would burn out whatever power source is in that thing. So I will say that your DC is probably a 15 to get through this without any damage. However, I will say the four of you can choose your skill check, whatever you think is most, so acrobatics, athletics, flight, whatever. And Zyn's aiming for a 15
Insight.
to get with no damage. Well,
Charm.
within reason. Yes, exactly. A performance would be another one.
If I look good doing it, we're gonna be all right. No.
Gonna flirt my way across.
So yeah, Zyn's aiming for a 15. Everybody else is aiming for a 12.
This one is lost in the darkness. Could one of those ones carry this one?
Can I? Because I feel bad.
Come on, Zyn. I got you, buddy. Don't trust these Cerberus traders.
Okay, never mind.
You're still salty about that?
Shh, we're not friends anymore, Titoh.
Who's taking the orb?
Gratch should take the orb and Zyn.
Gratch is taking the orb and the Zyn?
Yeah.
Nope. Nope. That's not gonna happen.
I think you might have to fight him for it.
Gratch tells Zyn to go on his backpack, and then he goes and grabs the orb and goes, I handle this. I don't trust you Cerberuses.
Okay.
Oh, no. I grabbed the orb.
Oh, come on, let's put all our eggs in one basket.
One Grasket.
Gratch touches it first, so I need that wisdom save from Gratch.
Natural 20, baby!
Woo!
Yeah.
It like there is the faintest of buzzes in your hands. It kind of feels nice. And then Titoh, you touch it to try to take it away from Gratch, and you need another wisdom save from you.
Oh, bollocks. Okay. Oh.
Because I used Varan meat as the lure, does Gratch get an advantage?
Gratch absolutely gets advantage.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
But is Gratch jumping for the Baron meat or jumping for the ship?
I mean, it ends in the same place. It's fine.
I was about to say, if he tries to bite the Varan meat.
It's a 5 from me.
Titoh, as your hands close on the orb, it's like a solipsism. You are suddenly in a completely different place. You are underwater. It looks like the view you've seen outside your home for however many years. But you are not inside Nadaria City. You are in the ocean, in this deep, deep ocean. It is like you have been transported to a complete other world. And you feel this looming, huge presence in the back of your mind, and it overwhelms you. This ancient being, seeing through your eyes, speaking through your voice. it is one with you, and you can feel it melding your mind to its will. For a briefest of moments, you struggle against it, and then everything in your mind tells you, well, of course, this is how it must be. It is your honor to serve. And in the Corvette, Gratch, Titoh, are you still wearing your helmet? And if so, is your visor opaque or transparent?
Wait, give me a dictionary. Yes, I'm wearing my helmet.
And
I guess it's transparent.
Okay.
Because I've been talking to people.
So, Gratch, you are looking into Tito's face as she goes from, she's got that mom look, right? Like, give me the freaking orb. And then, without any shift or change in her expression, she looks you straight in the eye, and in a voice that is absolutely not hers, that rattles your bones and the deck plates of the ship. She says,
"The darkness cannot be breached."
You have been listening to I Should Roll, Ride of the Valkyrie, Episode 22. All according to Keikaku. Keikaku means plan. Featuring the voices of Hans Cummings as Zynamondan, Grové as Titoh Raas, Jace Hutchison as Gratch, J.D. Kelly as Kache, Hunter LaPaglia as Carver Fairbank, Leah Ryan as Bean Gainian, and Kaya Renwick as everyone and everything else. Music and sound effects are used under Creative Commons or royalty-free licenses. For the extended credits, please see the show notes. And for more information, please visit ishouldroll.com. Find us everywhere on social media at I Should Roll, and don't forget to leave us a review. I Should Roll is an Intergalactic Improv Initiative production. This fan podcast is a transformative work and is not affiliated with Electronic Arts or BioWare. Thank you for listening. Have a pleasant day.